Your first 30 days in Whiskerwood can really make or break your game. So I'm going to be showing you how to get your colony just that whisker ahead with my top 10 early game tips. These tips go from which whiskers you want first, which buildings to prioritize, which resources to go after, and even how to use taxes to your advantage. So if you're starting afresh or you're recovering from the claws of a doomed attempt, then this is going to give your colony the best start possible. Now, if you found these tips useful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Now let's dive in. My first tip is one that might surprise you, and that's to overpay your taxes early. If you can mine some copper or some gold in those opening days and continue it going on in your colony and avoid taking too many expensive shipments from the supply ship, you'll have enough to overpay those first few tax payments easily. Now, the overpayment is calculated as a percentage of your total, so the lower your tax bill is, the easier it is to overpay, which is why it gets harder the longer the game goes on. Now, yes, you're going to be spending more up front, but early on, you don't really need that copper ore, so it's expendable. And the reward? You'll unlock these amazing early game schematics and resources that would normally take ages to research. Overpaying also gives you those extra reroll seals, which you can spend to make sure that you're actually getting the schematics that you want. I recommend overpaying your first 4 or 5 tax shipments and grabbing the key schematics like the plank row house and the charcoal furnace, plus any other handy extras like machinery, planks, and those tailored cloaks for the brutal winters. So, in short, you're going to be trading resources you don't use right away for ones that are going to give your economy a massive early game boost. My second tip is something you can do straight off the bat when starting a new game, and that's re-rolling your opening whiskers. These little whiskers are going to be with your colony forever, or at least that's the plan. So it's worth taking the time to build a strong foundation. Traits that cause negative thoughts or slow productivity early just won't cut it. So don't be afraid to reroll, because you can do this as many times as you like. Traits such as snores, weak, sickly, unsafe worker, slow, heavy eater, even pessimist will hold your colony back. Instead, look for strong shoulders, swift, and optimist. And also make sure you've got at least one apprentice to kick things off. The opening guilds aren't a huge deal since you're going to get a good mix as you expand, but starting with a miners guild and a few farmers is a safe bet for those first days. Now, once you've got a team that you like, don't forget to check your map. Every world's going to be randomly generated, which means the resources and the terrain are going to change every time. If you've got a map which has poor farming space, no early copper ore, don't hesitate to re-roll for something better. You only get one first start, so let's make it a strong one. Straight away, the game's going to push you towards collecting berries and wood, and whilst those are important, you need to make sure you're mining copper as soon as possible. Getting copper early makes your tax payments much easier and helps you avoid sending valuable wood or berries as part of those early tax shipments, because that's only going to slow your progress down. Plus, having a steady flow of copper is going to make it far easier for you to overpay your taxes and unlock those schematics that we spoke about earlier. I recommend assigning 2 whiskers from mining right from the very start and bumping that up as soon as the new whisker boat arrives. That way you can have enough copper to stay ahead of your taxes. Not building additional storage early on is a sure way to grind your economy to a halt. Your central warehouses can hold up to 233 goods, but that fills up faster than you think, especially with all that excess stone you're going to gather early on. And stone doesn't have much use at the start of the game, and it can't be used to pay taxes, so it's going to clog up your storage quickly. Once your house is full, your resource gatherers have nowhere to drop items, which means they'll stop producing entirely. So to prevent that, you're going to want to build a few storage sheds early on. Each one holds an extra 34 units and only costs 5 logs. It's a great way to increase your storage capacity early on. And once you're ready for an upgrade, research the small warehouse. It adds an extra 89 units of space and lets you begin your automation journey once you've unlocked the conveyor belts. The research costs 34 planks, but you might even snag it as a free schematic by overpaying taxes. The building itself is another 21 planks, but it's a huge step up for your storage needs and is the first step in automation. You might think that one of your main priorities should be building houses for your whiskers early on. And yes, it's the humane thing to do, but as heartbreaking as it is, I'm here to tell you to let those mice sleep under the stars for the first few nights. Every whisker that joins your colony starts with a +8 happiness boost that lasts for 2 days. Sleeping outside gives a -8 penalty, which means those two values are going to cancel each other out. So each time you welcome a new arrival, you've effectively got until the end of day 3 to give them a proper home before it starts impacting morale. Because of that, I recommend focusing on your economy for the first couple of days. Get mining early for that copper ore, gather those berries, and clear out a space where you actually want your houses to go. And then on day 3, start building those houses to stabilize happiness. This buys you time to organize your colony how you want early on and gives your economy that little boost to help you overpay taxes early. And if you're worried, there are plenty of other positive boosts that help offset the homelessness early on, so don't panic. Even something as simple as eating berries gives a +3 happiness bonus, which already softens the blow. In my Let's Play, I didn't house my early Whiskers until day 8. Cruel, I know, but honestly, it wasn't too hard to manage and there was no lasting negative impact. And by that point, my economy was booming and I was able to overpay on all my early tax shipments and actually snag some really useful schematics, including improved housing. So it worked out. Squeaking off my Let's Play, make sure to go check it out. The link's down in the comments below and at the end of this video. And if you're finding these tips useful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and show the video some love with a like. Now let's get on to some make or break tips for your colony. Setting up farms early is key to ensuring your supply of berries and wood doesn't dry up. When you pick your starting spot, there's going to be a few resources to gather, but those are going to run out faster than you think, especially on those harder difficulties. I recommend using that farm filter right away to scout for some good farmland. Find areas that are well suited for your berry farms and tree farms and then plan your layout early so you don't have to relocate these later. Getting these farms up and running quickly is going to make sure that your colony has enough food and wood to last through that first brutal winter, which creeps up faster than you'd expect. And you're going to need a lot of wood early on because you're going to start to want to convert those into planks when you start building those more advanced buildings. So assigning at least 4 Whiskers to your farms early is a safe bet. The main negative thoughts your Whiskers will start to have after the first few days are things like bland food, ate at the warehouse, dirty fur, ate raw food, threadbare clothing, or even just complaining about housing quality. So to keep your colony happy, we want to combat these early by prioritizing a few key buildings. And this is why overpaying taxes is key early on. It allows you to pick up some of these schematics without the research cost. An easy one to start with is the cafe. It's unlocked right at the very start and it removes the -1 penalty for eating at the warehouse and replace it with a +1 happiness boost. Just keep in mind that you can only store 21 meals at a time, so as your colony grows, you're going to need to build another one to keep up with the demand. Next up is dirty fur, and the fix for that is available right away also. Building a bathhouse will swap out that -1 happiness hit for a +1 boost, giving your Whiskers the chance to clean off and relax under the stars after a hard day's work. See, I'm not that cruel after all. Unfortunately, there's not much you can do about the threadbare clothing early on, apart from picking up a few cloaks from the supply ship, but once you unlock the tailoring, you can produce these yourselves later on. And finally, one thing that's going to stick around for a while is bland food. But once you start fishing and you unlock the charcoal furnace, you can look to research the smokery, and that'll let you produce smoked fish, which is going to be a real treat for your Whiskers that are craving just something a bit more than raw berries. Tip 8 is a small one, but it's something that's easily missed. You need to jump on the research bandwagon as early as possible. Research takes time in Whiskerwood, and without it, your colony's progress is going to hit a wall. Make sure to build a research lab as soon as you can and assign a Whisker with the educated trait to get things started. Getting your research going early lets you unlock key buildings like the plank row house, the smokery, charcoal furnace, and the small warehouse, while also setting you on the path to automation by unlocking Tier 1 research. If you leave it too long, your progress is going to stall, and your colony will start to fall behind. And let's be honest, we all want to play with cool conveyor belts. One of my favourite things about Whiskerwood is that there are no limits to how you can build. You'll often find me carving out the side of a mountain and putting structures in the gaps, or even inside the mountain itself to create efficient layouts. I've even been known to put buildings out in the ocean too, just to save space, and honestly, it looks great too. This is something you should absolutely do in Whiskerwood. Stack buildings, dig in terrain, and use every bit of space you can to shape the colony exactly how you want it. The beauty of Whiskerwood is that it rewards creativity, so don't be afraid to experiment, make mistakes, and then make your colony your own. My final tip is one that if you don't already know in advance of winter, it's probably too late. you need to recruit a lot of whiskers early on. Now yes, it might seem a bit daunting since you're not going to have the houses ready and your tax payments are now going to increase, but the more whiskers you have, the more productivity and the more resources you can generate. You'll start unlocking new buildings quickly, and without enough workers, your progress is going to stall and you won't have enough resources to overpay on taxes. That's why it's so important to get ahead of recruitment, especially before winter. Winter begins on day 17, and after that there's no new whisker ships that will arrive for roughly 8 to 10 days. So if you're running lean when this hits, you're going to be stuck waiting around for the new season. So don't hold back, build your workforce up as soon as you can. Well, there you go, that's my top 10 early game tips for Whiskerwood. Follow these and you'll be setting your colony up for success and be well on your way to starting your automation journey. The next step, overflowing the claws. But I'll save that for another video. If you found this guide useful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and check out my Whiskerwood Let's Play series linked down below. Thanks for watching and good luck building your perfect Whiskerwood colony.